For as long as Gotham has existed, so has the myth of the Court of Owls. Based on teasers, the secret society is poised to play a big role in Gotham Knights, the new game set in the Batman universe from Arkham Origins developer WB Montreal. But who or what is the Court of Owls, and why are they to be feared? For the longest time, Bruce Wayne thought he knew what Gotham was. Knowledge is his power, and his understanding of the city was crucial to protecting it. Gotham was Batman's city, but what if, for centuries, a secret society had been lingering in the shadows that Batman had made his home? What if they were stalking him like a predatory bird, biding their time and waiting for the perfect moment to strike? What if Gotham was their city, and it always had been? The myth of the Court of Owls has been passed from one generation to the next via a nursery rhyme.
Beware the Court of Owls that watches all the time, ruling Gotham from a shadowed perch behind granite and lime. They watch you at your hearth, they watch you in your bed. Speak not a whispered word of them, or they'll send the talon for your head.
Much of Gotham was built by Alan Wayne, Bruce's great-great-grandfather. In the winter of 1922, Alan was found hysterical in the streets of Gotham, warning the police that the 13th hour is upon them, and their nests are all around. The incident was chalked up to being a result of Alan's aggressive senility, and a strange obsession with the idea that owls were conspiring against him. Alan ultimately met his end when he fell into the sewers through an open manhole cover and drowned. He was found weeks later, identified only by the fillings in his teeth. But Alan's words were an omen. After all, owls don't build their own nests. They locate abandoned ones made by rival birds and take them over. Owls are invaders. The Court of Owls had been creating nests around Gotham in buildings set up using the Alan Wayne Trust for assisting young architects. It had established a network of unseen safe havens for over 150 years, and many of them were right under Batman's nose. Across those years, they ruled the city and enforced their will from the shadows, using seemingly immortal, chemically enhanced assassins called talons to do their dirty work. Evidence of the Court of Owls dates back to the 1600s and the infancy of Gotham City. The Cabal had been involved in key moments of history and had a hand in some of its greatest upheavals. There are even suspicions that they were involved in controlling the distribution of power in the city. Bruce Wayne noted that after the death of his parents at the hands of Joe Chill, he wasn't able to accept that it had been a random act of violence. Instead, he believed there was something bigger happening that he couldn't identify. Days before his parents were murdered, Bruce found an owl's nest in his attic, and despite shooing them away, they would always return. An older version of the nursery rhyme mentioned heeding the signs that the Court of Owls were watching, and this, he thought, was their warning to Thomas and Martha Wayne. Young Bruce followed the hunch, but it ultimately amounted to nothing and taught him not to let his emotions guide his investigations. However, when analysing Alan's body, he found that his great-great-grandfather also had numerous small puncture wounds on his body. More importantly, his bones had traces of a residue from a metamorphic rock, just like the nursery rhyme. Beware the Court of Owls, ruling Gotham from a shadowed perch, behind granite and lime. The mysterious Court of Owls began its campaign against Batman after Bruce Wayne revealed plans to revitalize the city, a major deviation from the court's long-laid plans. It begins by murdering a Gotham citizen and framing Batman's ally, Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, for that crime using his DNA, and then proclaiming that Bruce Wayne would also meet his end imminently. During a meeting with mayoral candidate Lincoln March, Bruce is attacked by a Talon named William Cobb, but continues to believe that the assassin is simply using the legend of the Court of Owls as an advantage. However, he's forced to abandon skepticism when he's once again assaulted by Cobb and pulled into an underground labyrinth. There, looking down on him from above, are three figures, wearing owl masks. Bruce attempts to play to his advantage and hide in the shadows, but every turn leads him back to the center, where a towering owl statue bears down on him, showing him that wherever he goes, the path always leads him back to the Court of Owls. He finds a room with its walls lined with pictures of those the court has used and killed, and the numbers are in the hundreds. In the labyrinth, Batman is driven to the brink of madness. He begins to act on emotion. Despair starts to creep in as he realizes Gotham is not his city, and it never was. The rooftops he bounds across on his quest for justice belong to the court, and the allies he thought he had were manipulated by them. And all that he knew and believed he was what they allowed. Batman is believed to be infallible, but he has been broken many times, at the hands of the Joker, Bane, and other villains. The events of the Labyrinth, however, are arguably his most thorough defeat. He was physically and mentally bested, and, more importantly, his entire understanding of the world as he knew it was undermined. But each of his defeats have strengthened Batman's resolve, and it's no different in his battle against the Court of Owls. With the Secret Society confirmed as real and dragged into the spotlight, Batman defeats Cobb and escapes the Labyrinth, vowing to return to root them out, showing that no one knows Gotham like he does. But the court has prepared. They've created an army of warriors, brought back from death and enhanced to do their bidding. The talons number in the dozens, and each one is sharpened specifically to tear down Batman. As Bruce prepares to take on the Talons and the court, further revelations show just how deep the court's influence ran. It's revealed that William Cobb was actually Dick Grayson's great-grandfather. More insidious, however, is that Grayson was also selected to be a Talon, as the circus his family was part of delivered child athletes to the court to serve them. Perhaps the court's greatest achievement was that it shook Bruce Wayne's faith in his understanding of the city, but despite this, when the court launched a full-frontal, all-out assault on Wayne Manor, he fought. While owls may be the natural predator of bats, bats make their homes in the depths of darkness that owls are incapable of reaching, and after being chased away, bats always come back. Batman's investigation takes him to the Willowwood Home for Children, which was established to help children suffering from mental illness and neurological disorders. The home operated until a sinkhole destroyed a portion of it, and in the time following, the truths about the abuse and neglect that children faced there came to light. There, Batman once again met Lincoln March, who it is revealed was a puppet of the Court of Owls and knows Batman's true identity. March, having turned on the court, was killed by a Talon and brought back to life using the same magic that allows the Talons themselves to cheat death. The most ground-shaking revelation, however, comes when March reveals his real name, Thomas Wayne Jr., Bruce's brother. Born early and with complications, Thomas Wayne Jr. was supposedly put in the care of Willowwood to heal out of the spotlight. His healing took a turn for the worst, however, when funds dried up after the home's biggest donor, Martha Wayne, was killed. The supposed brothers face off, with Thomas Wayne Jr. outfitted in an advanced Talon suit. He tells Bruce that they were to share the city, but instead Bruce left him to rot, and it was the court that came to save him from his torment. The battle between them ends with an explosion in an abandoned building. Bruce escapes, but his would-be brother is thought not to have been so lucky. Although Batman emerges victorious, it's with the knowledge that the Court of Owls continues to operate. Having suffered a setback, the court puts into motion their plan to recruit a Talon that got away, the Grey Sun. Even scarier, it's revealed that the Court of Owls was just a small group that is ultimately part of the Parliament of Owls, which exists purely to corrupt the House of Wayne. The court and the Parliament's resources are vast, and their roots in Gotham are deep and strong. The Secret Society continues to be a threat, and, in fact, they are more powerful than most even realize. Their centuries-old presence affords them a unique advantage over Batman, and their wings could engulf Gotham once again at any moment. Currently, the role the Court of Owls will play in Gotham Knights remains unclear, but given the extent of their power and the grip they have on Gotham, whatever presence they have will likely be a formidable obstacle for the Bat family. So there you have it, the history of the Court of Owls and why they're to be feared. If you want to talk more Batman with me, you can find me on Twitter at TamorH. I'll see you later, Bat fans.